holding on to negative things, you let go of yourself because you can't hold both at the same time. You just can't. This is not a juggling match. You know what I mean? So that's what my values did for me. And thank God for my values and thank God for instilling a strong moral compass in me because it's helped me. You know what I mean? It really, really has. And
when it comes to like moral compasses too, I feel like we aren't born into like our personal identity. It's something we're taught. It's something we learn. It's something our environment teaches us.
Yeah.
And it all comes down to this with me when I feel like, I'm not aligned with my purpose at times. It comes down to like recognizing signs that sound familiar.
Absolutely.
Like even like certain things somebody says to me on a podcast can like trigger me to remember something.
Of course, yeah.
To bring me closer to myself.
For sure.
And the only way that can happen is if everything is aligned. But I think the only way that everything can be aligned is if you are doing the work to know yourself and to be more conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. I love that.
All right, mic drop. That was good. That was good. Those ad-libs were brought to you by Wolf. I have the lovely Wolf with me. Welcome to the podcast, Mind Over Matter, baby. Shout out to you for listening. If this is your first time, welcome. I appreciate you. Shout out to you. Make sure you tell a friend.
Shout out to y'all, man.
Yeah, tell a friend, mother too. Like, tell everybody.
Tell your cousin to them.
That is Mind Over Matter, like, for real. Episode 68 of the podcast. I know, yeah.
68?
68.
You putting in work, for real.
What?
You are OG to me. Like, I gotta get on your level at some point, for real.
This guy.
68? I'm on episode 6.
But, like, it's still a grind. It's not even halfway there. It's not even halfway there where I want to be. But we have the lovely Wolf.
Lovely. I like that. I want to be referred to as lovely for the rest of my life, for sure. What's up, y'all?
Yeah, from Halfway Up podcast.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what my introduction is for that. Like, when you on somebody else's show, what do you say for yourself to introduce yourself to people? Like, what do you say?
I just say like, hi, my name is.
I feel like I need something.
Sometimes I forget to even mention the podcast.
I forget every time. I just be kind of like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
But I'm working on it though.
It's unnatural, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Even that whole intro, that felt mad like. It's natural now, but like.
Do people ever tell you that they look forward to hearing the intro though? Like, do ever they be like, oh man, like I like
the reactions I get from the guests when I do the intro. They be like,
okay.
They be hype, yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I fucks with it. I need an intro on my own. But yeah, man,
You got a theme song?
I have a theme. I have an intro. Like intro music to the podcast.
Okay.
Is that technically will make it a theme song, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when my shit, like when I get a theme song, it's gonna be way more player than that though. It's gonna give like black sitcom 90s kind of vibes. Like maybe not exactly, but it'll be somewhere in that lane.
It's gonna have lyrics?
Maybe. I rap, so I might be on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for that, you know?
On today's episode, we're going to be talking about knowing yourself, finding yourself. We're getting deep. We're getting existential. We're getting to the core of who we are as human beings.
I like that. Introspective.
Yes.
Yeah.
So are you ready for this deep?
I was born ready, man.
Therapeutic, hopefully.
I'm ready. I like the shoes, by the way. Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, let the people see what's going on.
De La Soul's. They're a little dirty.
Oh, for real?
Raining.
That's fire.
Yeah,
damn.
It's raining, but you know.
I got Birkenstocks
Still gotta
on, y'all.
get fly.
It's kind of my silhouette.
Nah, facts. Like, what's up with that? That's just your...
Let me tell you something. I'm going to hook you niggas up and give you the game. Can I say that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
nigga.
The thing about this shoe right here is that I can put this on every single day mindlessly without thinking, and I just be out the door and I still feel comfortable and I still think I look good. And that's important for me because when I buy sneakers might be $150. Rarely have I ever spent more than that on a pair of shoes. But like in New York City, predominantly I get around by train. You walking around, the shoe gets beat the fuck up, you know?
X.
And then it's crazy because before you know it, $150. If I spend $150 on a shoe, it's a special occasion. You know what I mean? I spend that money on that shoe, and then not even 6 months down the line, it's like the shoe, it don't look as good no more. You're like, you can't really step out in that shoe no more. Mm-hmm. And so I need to protect my shoes. I need to protect my investments. So what I do is I wear these. Once again, I'm giving y'all the game.
They're very comfortable though.
Very comfortable, and it's very good. You know, it's got the leather.
Looking at it does not look comfortable. I'm not gonna lie.
It's comfortable after you wear it. Like
it is comfortable
100 times.
Yeah, you know after you break it in.
But that's the story though, you know. And it's a nice vibe. Like I realize that people in New York
have Birkenstocks on.
Yeah, people in New York haven't really like patterned this look. So a lot of people just look at me and be like, this nigga wearing socks with sandals.
They're judging you.
They judging me.
Yeah.
But I'm really trailblazing though.
No, it's a look.
It's a look. Mm-hmm. You fuck with it?
Yeah, it's the whole aesthetic. Like, there's no wolf without those.
Come on. That's what I like, bro. I like that. I'm like a cartoon character. I show up in the same fit every day.
Nah, facts.
All right, cool.
Yeah, so why did you even start halfway up? What like really pushed you to make that step? Because that's a big step.
It's a big step. I started halfway up because I needed something. I think as a young man, I'm 30. I turned 30 May 29th. It's hard for a man to feel comfortable if he's not creating something. I like genuinely believe that. Like I think if you take a good look around at the men that are in the world that aren't creating something or like striving within their purpose, there's probably something off about them. They're probably not the most respected members of society. You know what I mean? I'm from Texas and I moved here. Like I've been here 4 years now, and my whole time I've been here, I've been trying to figure out how I can stay here. So I've just been figuring out what I can do to pay the bills and pay the rent so I don't be homeless, you know? But as I'm working my ass off and I'm successfully staying in New York City, I'm not creating anything, you know? So like I work at this really dope job and I'm fulfilled in that way. This is how I meet you, but I'm not making anything on my own. This is my boss's creation. They own this. So at the end of the day, it was like, I don't feel fulfilled because I'm not creating nothing. And I want to create, you know? Some people need to be in a work position because everybody can't be the boss. I want to be in the boss position. So that's where halfway up comes from. And
I love that.
Yeah, thank you.
The whole like mind over matter, what that means to me is like the power within. Mm-hmm. Like you don't wait for life to tell you what to do. Mm-hmm. You have to take that initiative within yourself to be like, yo, I don't want to live in somebody else's dream.
For sure.
I want to live in my dream.
For sure.
Period.
Yeah.
So that's really beautiful because that's what I get from this podcast too. Is just the feeling of fulfillment within.
Yeah.
Not because of like my external world.
Yeah.
And that's really so beautiful because it brings you closer to yourself.
Yeah. You're making a choice.
Yeah.
Like you're making a valid choice. Like I want to create something that can manifest things for me. Mm-hmm. Those manifestations wouldn't come to you until you made the first choice. You know? Mm-hmm. So that says a lot about who you are, and the fact that you even tried and you continue to try says more about you than it does a lot of people, because a lot of people, their biggest fear is taking the first step. Yeah. And trust me, I know. I spent a lifelong career getting people that I knew who had the talent, people who I believed in them, but I couldn't get them to commit to anything. So the fact that you're here all the time, you're consistent. Even when you're not here, you outside at the park. You know what I mean? You could be embarrassed or anxious, and maybe you are, but it don't stop you from still doing it, though.
Yeah.
So you should be proud
nervous
of
as hell. What? Doing those public interviews, but I just like, I have to do it. Like once you rip the bandage off, it's like,
you just got to go for it, yeah. And then you realize like this wasn't even that bad for real.
Yeah.
I wasn't even gonna die.
And then it becomes fun, and you're like, oh snap! Like let me try this, it a new way. Let's see how it works this way.
Mind over matter.
Exactly.
You got over the matter. Mm-hmm. You know?
Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's just so much confidence you gain too when you do that, because you prove to yourself things that you imagined.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, my mind is really powerful.
Your mind is powerful.
Yeah.
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 It's a fact.
So what did you have to overcome to even make that step to say, like, I'm going to take my life in my hands and I'm going to do what I want and create my reality?
What did I have to overcome? Had to overcome myself.
You versus you.
Yeah, I had to overcome myself. Unfortunately, it's weird. Like, as human beings, we're born with everything we need to be great, to be prosperous. But somewhere down the life path line between babies and growing up, we like pick things up. You know what I mean? We pick up depression, doubt, insecurity, imposter syndrome, anxiousness, stress, being abused, being oppressed, all these different things. And somewhere down my line of me trying to grow up to become a man, I just realized that at the end of the day, like, I gotta make something. I gotta make something happen for myself, because if I don't, nothing is gonna come to me. Nothing's gonna come to me at all. And so I kind of had to make a decision. Like, do you continue to be a person who complains and points the finger and looks at yourself like, oh, why me? Or this happened to me? Or like, I got the short end of the stick of life? Or do you decide like, hey, you need to tighten the fuck up and realize that it don't come to you until you go towards it, you know? Have to make a decision. So I made the decision.
Yeah, you didn't want to be a victim of life.
Nah, and most people are. Most people are victims. Majority people are looking at life like what they don't have, you know? Like, everybody's born with a deck of cards from birth, and you don't get to choose.
Right.
So it's like, you could be born in a wheelchair. You could be born extremely poor. You can be parents on drugs, whatever. It's like, you don't get to choose. You're supposed to take the deck and be like, well, this is my deck, and now I need to play my deck to the best of my ability. So that's what I just chose to do. It can't be a victim, because there's nothing in store in this universe for the person who feels sorry for themselves. It's just it's nothing for you.
And I like to think, like, this battle, this you versus you, I feel like it's hard. It's not going to be easy.
It's very hard.
But I feel like stepping out of that and just allowing life to fuck you over is also hard.
Both of them are hard. Choose your path.
Exactly.
You know, choose the hard. You get to make a choice, you know?
Exactly.
I'm choosing this all day. I'm going to go down swinging if I got to go down, but I'm going to go down and end up on top, though.
Yeah, period.
Facts.
It's also like a journey, too, you know? Because I feel like you mentioned something before where you're like, there's things in life that are thrown at you, and it's like a lot of people let those things, you know, dictate their reality.
Yeah.
And I feel like the mind is powerful. The power of the mindset is because when you are able to just like have like look for abundance, and you have that awareness to actually look for good in things, that will multiply. I know that because I've lived in it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't try to like compromise my spirit, my internal integrity for anything that doesn't feel right anymore.
Yeah, and you never should. You should never compromise that.
Yeah. Let's go to questions.
Let's do it. Yeah, let me hook you up real quick.
Yeah, because
we collaborating right now, y'all. Oh, shit. Hold on. Where you at?
Yo, what's up with your phone, though?
Yo, listen. Let's not...
The process of getting to know yourself. How do you like essentially learn about yourself, or you're continuing that process of learning yourself?
I think I continue to learn about myself by just continuing to be aware and to continue to be honest with myself. You know, there's certain things that, like, for example, yesterday was like a really wild ass day from the beginning of the day. It was a lot of shit that happened that could have easily made it a bad day. Easy. Yeah. So many things. And none of it worked. Like, literally none of it. Like, so many things that could have rightfully so made me be like, man, this was a bad day. But I was happy. I was happy, you know? And I told myself, like, I'm proud of you, you know? And I journaled a little later and I was like, I'm proud of you because that's growth. You know what I mean? These are enough events in a day. It could make anybody's day worse. But instead, you still came out of it, like, seemingly unscathed, seemingly unbothered. And at the end of the day, you was like, you happy? You know what I mean? So that's how I get to know myself. I'm aware. And then there's other moments where I know I'm tweaking. You know what I mean? I know I'm tripping. It was like, you know that wasn't the right thing to do, bro. You know you wasn't. You know you probably reacted to that, or you overreacted to that situation, or you didn't do the right thing. You know that wasn't honorable. You know what I mean? So really just being aware and just being honest with myself and constantly observing myself.
That's exactly like how I try to deal with my days. Like no matter what you throw at me, I'm going to have this calm like spirit about me because like, I always say I don't want to give you that privilege of even seeing me in that state because it's so like unnatural to me. I try to make it so like beneath me to even be in that type of emotional state.
You got to stay in control.
Yeah.
You got to.
What, like, how has the relationships and like, because for me, I learn about myself through experience and through like my relationships, through other people is how I learn about myself.
Through other people? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And like seeing like, you know, people like do things a certain way. I'm like, all right, I don't want to do it like that.
Oh yeah. I feel you. I feel what you're saying.
Yeah.
I feel what you're saying.
Yeah. So that's like my main way of like learning.
I agree with that too. It's called vicarious. You know what I mean? When you're vicariously learning through people. I do that all the time.
I always hear people say that, living vicariously. Yeah. I've never said that word.
Yeah, I'm vicariously learning through people's actions, through their accomplishments, through their mistakes. Majority of their mistakes, you know what I mean? So I see things and I be like, I see how that turned out for you. I see you shouldn't have did that. Now I know when it's my turn to make the same decision, it's like, I ain't gonna go because I know what it looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like relationships are a reflection of how much you know yourself in a way. Okay. And how like conscious you are. Because you ever heard the saying, show me your friends and I'm gonna show you who you are?
Yeah, or birds of a feather flock together. Man sharpen man like iron sharpen steel.
I never heard that one. That's a
good one. Keep that one.
I'm gonna keep that one. I'm gonna keep that one.
Yeah, it's all saying the same thing though.
But growing up, I used to be so annoyed when my parents used to say that to me. I'd be like, yo, like leave me alone.
But they know.
Yeah, they know. They definitely know because
it's crazy when you find out they know. Yeah. That was one of the first, I think that might quite literally be the first lesson I ever realized that like, oh shit, like our parents are different. You know what I mean? Because my mom would tell me like little niggas that I'd be running around with, she'd be like, he's not your friend. He's not a good kid, you know? I'm just like, what are you talking about? That's my nigga Drew. What you mean?
Right.
Then I realized like, damn, this nigga stole my Nintendo DS. He's not a good guy. But she knew the whole time. Intuition. Parents have superpowers and they on constant surveillance for their babies, for their children. You know what I mean? So sometimes, like my mom always say, I'm her consequence-driven child. So it's like I gotta always like hit my head on the shit for her to tell me, like, I told you it was a wall there, nigga. You know what I mean? But I had to run into it. And so parents, it's a hard job being a parent, man, because we just don't believe them. Like they've just been 40, 50 this whole time and we know more than them. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Kids are stupid, for real.
No, for sure.
It's crazy.
Because like now that I'm older, I'm like, wait, they actually have personalities and feelings?
Facts.
What? Like,
facts.
Y'all supposed to just take care of me and, you know, pay my food and stuff. But.
And I'm not necessarily saying this is the best thing either, but they become a refined and reduced version of themselves to give you the part that they think you need the most. Because they was a whole person. Your parents got drunk. They got caught by the police. Maybe they did stupid shit. Maybe they lied. They got, you know what I mean? These things happen, but that's not the version that makes the most sense for your cultivation as a child, especially depending on the child too. So it's like, you young, but I see you. I see you. You know what I mean? So I can only give you this part that matters to get you to the point where you're grown, and then we could be grown folks, hopefully. Hopefully, because sometimes some parents never get out of that lane, and that's unfortunate, you know what I mean? But shout out to the parents, man, for real. Shout out to my mom. I know she's going to be watching this.
Shout out to Mama Wolf.
Mama Wolf. Facts.
Yeah. I feel like even how you move throughout the world is a reflection as well of how well you know yourself and how just secure you are in yourself.
Absolutely.
Like in every aspect, down to like how you keep your room tidy.
Absolutely.
Everything, down to how you eat.
Yeah. How you do one thing is how you do everything.
Exactly.
That's what they say, and I believe that.
Yeah. And even like, I know you're vegan, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think I'm vegan. I'm not vegan. Like,
you give vegan vibes for sure.
I do give vegan vibes?
You give vegan vibes.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's good. That's fucking dope.
I'm going to take that as a compliment.
Yeah, that's dope.
But I work at a vegan restaurant. I give vegan vibes because I do eat healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to say I'm a vegan because like, that's a whole lifestyle. Like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
But I eat like chicken here and there like once a month or something. But all of that being said, I eat the way I eat because I understand that I want my body to reflect my mind.
Yes.
I want you to look at me and be like, damn, like, yo, she glowing. Her face good. I got a little pimple here, but you know, like, her skin glowing, like, damn, like she going to the gym. And now that's going to be the representation of like the work I did, like mentally. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Do you think like your body is a reflection of your mind, or not even your body, like just your lifestyle is a reflection of your mindset?
Everything is a manifestation of your mind. Everything. It's a quote by, she's not a pastor, but it's a woman. She podcasts on YouTube. Her name is Jackie Hill Perry. And she has a quote that says, the way you live bears the fruit of what you actually believe. And so what you believe bears the fruit of your life. So the way you live is a manifestation of your mind. Or if you're a child, like what your parents believe is a manifestation of your life. So I got this tattoo on my arm. I'm going to read it to you real quick. It says, watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. And watch your habits, they become your destiny.
You could say that without looking at it?
No. No.
Wait, I heard that before. Where is that from?
It is by a philosopher from Asia. I think his name is Lao Tzu. Okay. Laotzu. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but yeah. And so yeah, everything is a manifestation from up here, for real. You know, like even if it's not to the degree of like your body being fit, but just the fact that you're not in the hospital. You know what I mean? Like the way because your mind is in a good place, you put things in your body that keeps you nourished and balanced and away from needing hospitalization, you know what I mean? Or heavy medication and stuff like that. So yeah, man, you got to get your mind right. If the mind goes, the body will surely follow for sure. If the mind not right, the body is just failed. It's for sure to be doomed, for sure.
Yeah. How has the people that you keep around help elevate you and to become more aware of yourself?
That's a great question.
Thanks.
How has the people around me made me more aware of myself, essentially? That's what it is?
Yes.
I would like to think that something... Okay, so I'll just be honest. Like, we spoke earlier about vicariously learning through people. Not intentional. I say this not to offend anybody intentionally, but like I have vicariously learned through the people that were around me based off of things that I didn't admire about them, things that I didn't like about them, things that I did not respect about them. I learned a lot about myself through those type of actions because it helped me understand where I wanted to be in life as juxtaposition to where they were. You get what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
So it's like I see the way you moving, I see what you're doing, I see your lack of integrity, I see your lack of honor, your lack of consistency, your lack of keeping your word. And I'm just like, okay, these are your friends though. You know what I mean? So you be with them type shit. You be hanging with them. You be in the same spots doing the same thing they doing, but pay attention because you think, it's like as human beings, sometimes we think that we're so different from our friend group that it couldn't be us. But that's not true though. Nobody is bigger than the program. Nobody, you know what I mean? And again, birds of a feather flock together. Everybody can be conditioned. If you in an environment, if you a monkey, you in an environment around birds, eventually you're going to start to move like a bird do. And that's a crazy analogy, but like that's what it was with my friends. Like I was the monkey and they were the birds or vice versa. And so I learned about myself that one, it was like you need to keep your mind safe from just being around anybody just because you don't want to be alone. You know what I mean? That's a very dangerous thing to do because you might put yourself in danger of picking up habits that you can't come back from.
Damn.
Yeah.
Gotta think about that one.
Yeah.
Cause like in the past, like I've always like never had trouble making friends, you know? And I always like, I grew up being around a lot of people, having a lot of friends. Like I never really had struggle with that. But then like growing up now, you know, like you start off with a lot and then it's like, oh, who's there now?
Of course, circle gets smaller. Everybody can't go.
Exactly. And now it's like, I don't care to look cool. And that's like a part of like, you know, just growing. And what I realized a lot is that if I had from the jump just the right encouraging set of friends around me, that could have like expedited where I am now.
Same.
It has held me back like time and time again. And it's like a lesson that I still am like constantly trying to like learn.
Same. I didn't grow up with the type of friends that were so advanced or moving so smart. Like I didn't grow up with the type of friends that like had their hands on creative things that could bring them money or just push them further in life. I didn't grow up with that. You know, like I was the one of my friend group trying to get us to act right. So if I'd have had a different set of friends, things would have looked different, you know? But that wasn't my story. And it's interesting because like here at the studio, there's like groups of podcasters, some of them young, some older, but they're friends though. And I see them and I think to myself, damn, why couldn't that have been me, bro? You know what I mean? Because I would have loved to have a brotherhood of friends that were trustworthy, you know what I mean? People you could rely on, you know, and that wanted it just as bad as I wanted it. It's like, nigga, last time I checked, we all broke. So we should all be wanting this just as bad. Like, I shouldn't be in New York by myself. I would have loved to have been here with the niggas that I grew up with. But that wasn't my story, though. And, you know, God has his reasons for doing things, I'm sure. You know? Like, I think me not having a bunch of friends just made me not hyper-independent, but it just gave me the strength to do shit on my own, which a lot of people do not have. A lot of people don't have that. So now I look at it like people will be like, damn, you do this by yourself. Like I moved out here by myself. You know what I mean? Like that was tough. That was hard, but I had to do it because if I was waiting on them niggas, I'd still be there with them. And where they are, the city that I'm from Dallas, I love where I'm from, but like everything that I manifested from my life, it came from me realizing that they wasn't gonna go with me, so I had to separate from them. So yeah, man.
No, I could like really attest to that. But like sometimes I'm like, damn, I would love to have like a group of
I would love that.
Friends here, like, yo, we chatting and it doesn't feel like work. But like you said, that's not the way the cards are dealt.
It's not how it works.
I hope it's not too late. Like I'm getting a little older. Like, do you like think like
you're getting a little older? How old are you?
I turned 23 2 weeks ago.
Oh my God.
What? I said a little. Just a little. I didn't say it like I remember when disrespect.
I was 20. No disrespect. I remember when I was 23. Damn.
But like, yo, mentally, I'm like 45 for real.
I feel that. I felt the same way.
Yeah.
I felt the same way until you get 30 and realize like that was not meant to be 45. You know? But it gets better later for sure. Some things become more complicated, but the like things that are complicated for you now become way easier later, and now you have new complications. You got new things that you need to figure out.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah, you know. But I'm at a place now as a person who moved out here with no friends, no family, that I'm becoming very fond and very proud of the relationships that I'm making now. It took a minute, but now it's like, and it's better now because now they're like, we're aligned. Like we're not just around each other because we want something to do. You know what I mean? Now it's like, oh, it makes sense business-wise and then peer-wise. It's like we understand each other. We wouldn't do anything to disrespect each other, to overstep our boundaries, to step on each other's toes. So it went from being here almost for a nice amount of time, being here 4 years and not really having those people to like, oh, those people they kind of here now. And now all you got to do is just continue to live life with each other.
Yeah,
nurture the situation. So your better people are coming for you. You know, like when the people that are meant for you get here, you're not gonna have to convince them of things. You're not gonna have to like try so hard to get them to see things. When you tell them shit, they're gonna listen because they respect you. They can respect you. They're gonna be like, she talking to me? I'm listening. because I fucks with her. You know what I mean?
And I recently got like a friend in my life, well, 2 friends in my life that came like that. And it feels so therapeutic. It feels like I'm not giving everything out of myself to like maintain. Like, why does friendships feel like work? You know what I mean?
And they are work, but they shouldn't be too hard, though.
It shouldn't feel rigorous. It shouldn't feel draining.
It shouldn't.
But these like new set of people that came into my life, it's like everything feels so like easeful, blissful. Like,
that's good.
They listen to me when I speak. They don't try to like belittle my feelings and things like that. So
trivialize you, condescending to you. They're not trying to patronize you.
Exactly.
For sure.
And I think that's just that's what's bound to happen when you are doing the work on yourself and you are like having a new outlook on the world. You're gonna attract new things. And I was kind of scared of that for a while because I did not want to, leave my old habits, leave that old version of myself, because like it was so familiar, so comfortable. Like
nothing you want is there.
She was so cool to me at the time, but then it's like,
nothing you want is there.
Yeah,
nothing you want is there. And
in order to elevate, I had to like make new habits.
You have to, and because the life that you want, you gotta earn it. You know what I mean? Like nothing you want is coming to you. You gotta walk to it. And like the older version of yourself, she not ready for what's in store for you. She not ready for that. You know what I mean? She would probably get it and fumble the bag on it.
No, for sure.
You know what I mean? So you gotta there's a better version of you is waiting. And you literally making steps to get there. And once the money there, the power there, the comfortability is there, you know what I mean? It's just gonna be like, shh.
And the money is not even there and I'm doing this. So imagine when the money come in, I'm going crazy.
The money's coming.
Yeah.
The money always is coming.
It is.
Facts.
How do you glamorize getting to know yourself? Because a lot of the times it's more glamorized going away from even getting to know yourself. Like the external world is so pretty. Like, you're like certain temptations of the external world can be very tempting to get you off of your path. So how do you glamorize just getting to know yourself?
How do I glamorize getting to know myself? The process of getting to know myself. How do I glamorize that? That's a good question. Probably just putting myself first. You know what I mean? Like I'm a big proponent of putting myself first because I realize that when I take care of me, it's easier for me to take care of everybody else, So I think a lot of the time I've grown accustomed to pouring from a cup that needed refilling. You know what I mean? So like a lot of the time there's people that I care about, some of those old friends, family members, just people. I like to give, I like to help. I like to be of assistance. So a lot of the time I try to give assistance to people, but I'm not really right all the way too. So I think the way I've glamorized getting to know myself is just by putting myself first. It's like I had some, once again with the Birks, you know what I mean? Like I had a different pair of Birks that was like fucked up. Like I walked them down, and it was like, I needed some new ones, you know what I mean? Like they were so fucked up, like this part right here was like almost paper thin. Like it was almost only this black part left.
Oh no.
So this part was full like this, but then it was like shaved all the way down to almost this, and I was just walking in them, And it was like, that ain't no way to live. You feel me? That ain't
Your heel didn't hurt?
It did, actually. It did. But I was just like, these are only slip-on situations I got, so I just had to do what I had to do.
I'm glad you...
You see? I'm back right again, you know what I mean? So, like, I think that's how I glamorize it, by taking care of myself. And I realize that when I feel taken care of, I can be the highest version of myself. Like, the part of me that I feel like when I'm at the max of my abilities, when I'm the most charismatic, when I'm the most creative, when my energy is the most contagious, is when I've made sure that I'm right. You know what I mean? So maybe that's me getting the acai bowl. Maybe that's me going on my way to get some juice. Maybe that's me doing a little retail therapy. You know what I mean? That's me putting on the gold. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, like I take care of me, and it's like, what you need now? I can help you I can help you with whatever you need because I'm good. I made sure I was straight. I want for nothing at this point. So I think that's how I glamorize it.
Okay, yeah. I like that. Self-love, right?
Very important, man. Like, I'm going to make sure I'm right.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure I'm right. It's hard to make sure other people are right when you're not right. You can do it. Most people do it. A lot of parents, a lot of older siblings, you know, they taking care because they've put in the position to be accountable for others. But then it's like, but look at you though. Like, what about you?
Yeah.
What about you? Like you took care of everybody else except for the most important person. Like, you know, like I only took care of you because I have the hands and the energy to do so. So why don't I like make an investment on that energy?
I think of this analogy now. I think I use this, but y'all gonna hear it again. I don't care. When you're on a plane, right? The first thing they teach you when you're on the plane and the gas mask comes down or the oxygen mask is to help yourself. Put the oxygen mask on yourself so you can help the person next to you. Even if it's your kid, you have to put the oxygen mask on yourself before you help anybody else. Yeah. And they say that because you have to be good before you're helping somebody else be good.
You have to be good.
Yeah.
You got to be secure first.
Yeah. Because then you won't even have the mental capacity to help somebody else.
That's really important, man.
Yeah. You over here about to pass out trying to help somebody else.
It's for anybody who's listening, for the people that are listening, like, there's a good chance that you are not prioritizing yourself. And please take this as a sign to do that. Take care of yourself. Like, when the last time you got your new pair of shoes? When the last time you took yourself out to eat? Not even just with your friends. When the last time you took yourself out?
I don't think I could ever do that. That's a lot of courage.
To take yourself out to eat?
In public, a table of one, that's embarrassing to me.
Really?
That's a big fear of mine.
Really?
Yes. That is embarrassing. Or going to the movies by myself. Now, I feel like I could do that because it's in the dark, so I'm going to just be like...
Embarrassing why, though? Do you know why? Do you know why?
By myself? Nah. I'd rather just go to the park and eat by myself.
No. But do you know
It's because of the other people around me.
What other people? The strangers?
You're right. But like subconsciously, I'm just like, damn, like they looking like they have a good time. I'm just here alone, you know?
You not having a good time putting nourishment in your body with the money that you made, the money that you earned?
It's just not for me.
I understand. I'm not listening.
Yeah.
I feel you. I would
travel by myself.
What?
Before but then I would probably make a friend out there.
So the reason why you are on the fence about going out to eat by yourself is because of what they might think.
No.
You sure?
It's because I would feel awkward. I would just feel awkward.
Based upon how you think they think about you. That's what you said earlier.
You know what? I'm going to try to eat by myself. You happy?
Just try it. You know what I mean? Like, I like to grab a beer, grab a sandwich from like a really good deli or something like that.
Yeah, I could grab food and then go somewhere else and eat by myself.
Go to the park or something like that. That's fine too. I think that's fine too.
Okay, yeah.
That's fine too.
Yeah, but like to go to a high-end restaurant and be like, yo, table of one?
It could be
not even high-end, just...
Yeah. You listen, you're 23, man. You got time to decide when you're ready to do something like that. You got plenty of time.
Yeah.
So if it's not your vibe right now, like, it's just not your vibe right now. One day, you'll be in Paris near the Eiffel. You'll be in a restaurant.
Yeah,
Eiffel Tower will be right there or something, and you've been in Paris already though, right?
Yeah.
That's right. You've been there before. You've been there. Low-key.
I want to go like away from my family. Like, I love my family, but like I want to go like on some me, like on my timing, not on their timing.
You 23. It's almost that time.
Yeah.
It's almost that time for real.
Yeah. I soon go back for the croissants. The food is not all that though. I'm not gonna lie.
Croissants.
The food is not all.
That's what I hear about Europe in general. I heard the food because they don't really. You know, we like our food seasoned as like melanated people, and they're not into that.
Yeah, and they just be eating like weird stuff like snails and pigs.
No.
Like full pigs.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But how can like your environment limit you? Because like even in like I would eat alone at a restaurant in Paris. Like it's Paris. But I wouldn't do it here. You know what I mean?
Nah, why not?
Because like it's Paris. Like it's different.
Is it? This is Paris to me.
Is it?
Yes.
Nah, because I lived here all my life.
I understand that.
This is not Paris.
To me, it is, though. New York is Paris.
The trenches, bro.
This is not the trenches.
Bro, like you can't even...
New York? I got a diamond district in this bitch. I got a financial district. I got beaches.
We got rats.
got rats.
You could also mention the rats. We got, what
roaches.
else?
I got rats, roaches.
We got,
criminally infested streets. Like, niggas wearing Nike Tech and mask. I don't know what be going on there.
Yeah. Don't fool the people now.
No, I feel it. But speaking on the question you was building towards, like, you was getting ready to say.
How can your environment limit you into like being the best version of yourself? And do you think it can limit you?
Yes. Your environment is everything. Your environment. So let me say this first, because I'm thinking about it more, actually. So let me be fair and share my thought process immediately. When I think environment, I think of my home immediately. Obviously, that doesn't have to be the case. Like, this is an environment right now. But let's talk about that. This environment is a safe space. It's a Black-owned studio. So that changes the environment a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's a Black-owned studio. Ain't no white people around here making us feel nervous. Ain't nobody over here pressing us on time. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody, it's like none of that. We're comfortable. We're just chilling. Kind of having our way with life right now in this moment. The environment is empowering us. You get what I'm saying? Like when you home, because there are other environments that are like studio settings that you would not feel this comfortable. You know what I mean? They'd be like, you need to hurry up. Or they'd be like, oh, like it's just so many things you can't control, but because we coming from the privilege of it being a Black-owned spot, we just, you know, we privileged in that way. We having our way with it. And like, especially when you consider your house. I have lived in so many different living situations and arrangements. I've slept on many floors. I've slept on many couches. I've slept...
But with like a blow-up mattress or something?
Sometimes and sometimes not. Sometimes not.
Like on a floor?
Like floor, like wood floor, like this.
They didn't have like a cot or something?
Nah, you know what I mean? Like, nah. Sometimes there was a couch available. Sometimes there wasn't.
So why didn't you go on a couch?
Sometimes it wasn't available.
Oh.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm not judging. I'm just...
No. You just asking.
Now, because people be like, I slept on the floor. I'm like literally the floor?
The floor.
Damn.
Like wood. Like wood. You know, I've had a very interesting upbringing, you know what I mean? And a majority of my life, I have not had the decency of privacy. I'll say that. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny, like, girls that I talk to, they'll say, like, you spend a lot of time in the bathroom, you know? And when they say that, it makes me think, like, why is that? And I spent a lot of time in the bathroom because it was a place where I could close the door and be in privacy. You get what I'm saying?
Nah, I could really attest to that, too.
You feel me? So it's like environment, though, because the environment will cause you to even seek refuge in a bathroom. You know what I mean? Which I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because it's like you get to close the door, there's water, you can get clean, whatever it is. But that's the type of effect that the environment plays, because if the environment was, let's say, more conducive to what you personally need, you probably wouldn't be drawn to finding privacy in a place like that. You know what I mean? So environment is everything. It really is. An environment can shelter you, suppress you, it can stop you, or it can nurture you, uplift you, empower you, energize you, you know? A lot of the time, especially when you're a kid, you do not get to choose the environment that you grow up in. And so that's why, like, kids really are fighting the war of life from the very beginning, you know what I mean? Because if they have parents who are like abusive, or they have parents who are liars, manipulator, or just goofy, because sometimes parents be kids themselves. And that's fucked up, because as a kid, it's like, well, who the fuck do I look up to? But you can't do shit about it until you powerful enough and legally enough to work. And just because you work don't mean you're making no real paper. You know what I mean? So then you got to get into a position where you can make some real bread to even uplift yourself based off your own merits, to put yourself somewhere where you want to be. All of these things are caused by the environment, though. So you either uplifted or suppressed by your environment. But either way, you got to make that shit.
We are products of our environment. Like, that is so true.
Absolutely.
Even like, I shared with you earlier, like, I live by myself. Like, I'm so blessed because my mom made this life for me where she had this plan and she executed it, and now she's retired and she's left me like with the house. And
which is amazing.
Yeah, and a lot of the times, like,
shout out mom.
Yeah, shout out to mom.
Shout out to you, mom. I don't know if she looking at this?
My mother, I love you. But it's like, I want a lot of my cousins live like kind of in the same neighborhood of like right next to where I live, and they're like, "Oh, like, you're not lonely." you're not like tired of being at home alone and stuff like that. When they first did it last summer, I was like that. Like I felt like, damn, I don't got my family. Like I grew up around them, like because I grew up in a family daycare. So the daycare was my house. So I can like attest to what you're saying. I didn't really have much privacy because I was always around kids. And by the time it's time to go to bed, I'm knocked out for the next day. So it's like, sometimes I will wake up with a baby in my bed. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? But that's how my life was for 20 years. Before I was born, she had daycare.
Yeah. So you was born into this lifestyle.
Yeah, what? Yeah. So I'm just born into a daycare, literally. Like, I go to school with these kids from the daycare. I come home. I eat with these kids from the daycare until like 7:30, some of them leaving.
And you really were like a place, your own space.
Exactly. So now growing up, I'm like, am I like weird for like not wanting to reach out to people? Like, I like this silence. I like this peace.
That's a strong attribute to have, though.
Yeah.
It's strong. A lot
but
of
it
people
wasn't
don't
like
have
that at first, though. At first, I was like falling into other people ideas of what living alone was. Like, oh, you're not lonely? Oh, you don't miss your family? Of course I miss my family, but like, I craved this peace for 20 years of my life.
You finally have that.
Yeah.
You deserve the right to enjoy that.
Yes.
You do.
I do, right?
You should, for real.
And it's like, yo, your environment can really make or break. It really is who you are.
Listen, both of my parents definitely how do I say this the right way? Both of my parents have, forgive me, I'm trying to find the right way to say it. Both of my parents have struggled financially, for sure. And a good portion of both of their lives, they've had to live with other people at times. You know what I mean? So a lot of it's like sometimes where I went to go see my pop or I went to go see my mom, it's like I seen them living with somebody else. And so like my mom might be in a room, my dad might be in a room. That's the room that we got. You know what I mean? So like my mom and my sister might share the bed that leaves the room for me. You know what I mean? So these things inspire you, environment. So like my environment like inspired me to be like a workaholic. You know what I mean? Because I just was looking at what it looked like when you weren't financially stable. You know what I mean? And what that could really do to a family. Like as far as like there was Christmases, like my dad couldn't get me nothing but just a car, you know what I mean? And as a kid, I was like, yo, what's up? Like, what's up? I need gifts, nigga, you know what I'm saying?
You circle all the Toys R Us, that whole page.
I'm like, bro, like, what's up? You know, but that's not where he was at with it though, you know what I mean? He was living in the basement of his mom's house, you know what I mean? And so, environment, you know what I mean? Environment, so like seeing my parents not be able to do for us because what they couldn't even necessarily do for themselves, it was like environment. Like it bred a hardworking person. And until this day, like, I say this respectfully, I don't know nobody who work as hard as me, and none of my coworkers work as hard as me. They might be smarter than me in a lot of different ways. They might have different talents than me in a lot of different ways, but they don't work harder than me though. You know,
7 days is crazy.
7 days is crazy. And
7 days is beast.
And listen, I'm not even bragging about that shit. It ain't even like, who the fuck wants to work 7 days out of the week, you know? But like, I'm in a window of opportunity in my life, and this is what I'm doing with it. It's not gonna last forever.
No, I feel that.
You know what I mean? It's like I'm, so to speak, walking out of it now, metaphorically speaking, you know what I mean? Like I'm in the last days of this chapter, you know what I mean? But while I'm here, I'm gonna take advantage of that.
Yeah, you're executing.
I'm executing, exactly.
Even like when you bring up this studio space, there's so many other places in the world. Well, I'm saying the world. In New York, I could record and I come here.
Right.
Like consistently because it's the environment. It's very welcoming.
You know what I mean?
Like,
they treat you right.
Yeah, I don't feel like this is just like for profit. I don't feel like you guys are trying to like take my money or you're just trying to do business. I feel like you guys are actually trying to build a community.
For sure. And we literally are. I mean, even right now, this happening right now, this don't got nothing to do with business.
Right.
Nothing.
Exactly.
Ain't no business. Like you're doing business to be here, but at the end of the day, we connecting right now because of the connection. This is as authentic as it get with human beings. So they're building community. Like I would have never met you if it wasn't for this. This platform has brought so many people together.
Right.
So this, again, environment. You know what I mean? Environment. Get your environment right wherever you at. Yeah. And if you can't do nothing about it right now, just know it's okay. It's gonna change. Just stay focused. Keep your mind on the prize. One foot in front of the other, one day at a time. It'll happen, man. When I came to New York, this shit didn't even exist. WTF didn't even exist, bro. I had no idea that I would be walking into, I didn't give a fuck about podcasting when I came to New York. I give two shits less, and now it's everything to me.
Wow.
Just keep grinding, bro. I'm telling you, like, there's things that don't even exist yet that are going to be in favor for your life. And you don't allow yourself to get a chance if you stop working. Got to keep working.
How has your values realigned you at times you felt that you've lost who you were?
There were a lot of opportunities that I could have taken advantage of to make money while I was out here illegally, immorally, you know what I mean? Because it was bad when I first got out. It was hard. Couldn't even afford a cup of coffee. It was crazy, you know what I mean? Shout out my cousin, because he would send me, my cousin Diz Audrey, check him out, he's a great artist. He would send me coffee and shit like that, and that made my whole fucking day, you know? But say the question one more time.
How has your core values realigned you?
Yes. There are moments where I could have compromised my integrity, like you said earlier, but my core values, you know what I mean? It wouldn't let me do that. You know, like my core values was my moral compass, and it turns out that everything worked out very beautifully for me. I didn't have to do anything that I know my father wouldn't be proud of, or I didn't have to do anything I know my mother or myself, you know what I mean? Or my sister. I didn't have to do anything to like put myself second. Sometimes when I didn't have the answer, I just had to be comfortable with not having the answer. And that is a tough place for any human to be, because as soon as you feel like you don't have the answers, you feel like you need to make one.
The unknown.
And sometimes when you feel forced to make an answer, sometimes it's not right. Sometimes you convince yourself like, I had to do that to make this happen. You know what I mean? I had to do them like that. I had to finesse and scheme and make these things happen because there was no other way. You know what I mean? It was like, was there no other way? It was a lot of opportunities in New York where I had to ask myself that. You know what I mean? Like I could have got even with certain people, I feel like they had did me wrong and shit like that. And I was like, I'm not going to do none of that shit. I'm not going to do none of that shit. And my values did that for me because I could say that I was raised better, and that is part of it, but also who I am as a human being, I know what those feelings feel like when they come up, you know what I mean? And when you get that feeling in your stomach, you get that feeling in your heart, you have them thoughts in your mind, in your mind, so.
And when you go against that, it kind of makes you not even trust yourself anymore.
If you go against that, you are hurting yourself.
Yeah.
And you are putting yourself, it's like when people say revenge is a double-edged sword, and like the reason why they say it is because it's like, there's no way for me to do something to you that I don't do to myself. And that's something that like, as a 23-year-old, I'm sure you have some understanding of it, but your understanding of that becomes a lot greater the older you get. And you start to understand like, there's no way for you to be mad at your mom and not be mad and feel anger in your body. You know, there's no way for you to be mad at your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your homies or your cousins, or you be angry at them or you hate them or whatever. Like you feel that and you just feel that. And it's to the cost of you. And like really the better thing is to be like, I'm not happy about this, to be honest, and I don't fuck with you right now, to be honest, but may peace be upon you. I need to walk a lap. I need to move around. Because for me to feel a way about you is to feel a way about myself. And I'm not going to let go of myself holding on to how I feel about you.
Yeah.
And that's just something that's very powerful that I learned at 30. Like, holding on to negative things, you let go of yourself because you can't hold both at the same time. You just can't. This is not a juggling match. You know what I mean? So that's what my values did for me. And thank God for my values, and thank God for instilling a strong moral compass in me, because it's helped me. You know what I mean? It really, really has. And
when it comes to like moral compasses too, I feel like we aren't born into like our personal identity. It's something we're taught. It's something we learn. Something our environment teaches us.
Yeah.
And it all comes down to this with me when I feel like, I'm not aligned with my purpose at times. It comes down to like recognizing signs that sound familiar.
Absolutely.
Like even like certain things somebody says to me on a podcast.
Absolutely.
Can like trigger me to remember something.
Of course, yeah.
To bring me closer to myself.
For sure.
And the only way that can happen is if everything is aligned. But I think the only way that everything can be aligned is if you are doing the work to know yourself and to be more conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. I love that.
Mic drop. That was good. I did that. I said all that. Man. Like sometimes I'll be saying stuff, I'll be looking back, I'm like, wait, I said that?
Yeah, facts.
Facts.
But why would you ever doubt it? Because you though.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's mind over matter, baby.
Mind over matter, baby. Anything you want to tell the people to leave them off with?
Man, I would just like to encourage people that if you're listening to this right now, I hope that something was said that had brought value to your life in some kind of way. Mm-hmm. I have a podcast of my own. I have absolutely no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I'm figuring it out every single day. I felt that in my soul. I'm figuring it out every single day. But you know what? I'm really enjoying it. Deja, thank you for sharing your platform with me because you really didn't have to do that. Of course. And so I'm really honored to be here. And I would just like to say, if you got value from any of this, come holler at me, man. You can find me on Instagram at Wolf Taylor. My podcast, Halfway Up, exists on my Wolf Taylor profile because I just don't have a Halfway Up Instagram as of yet. I probably never will. And yeah, my podcast is kind of about a lot of things that we spoke about. I just want to encourage people to seek the wisdom out of life and whatever I can do to help you just get over these very difficult things. I think a lot of time in life is a series of remembering things you once knew. So sometimes you might forget that comparison is the thief of joy. You know what I mean? Like, there's only so many things you can be focused on in your mind when you focus on paying the rent and the bills and maintaining your relationship. And while you juggling those things, you might have forgot that, like, oh shit, I do need to take care of myself. It's like, oh, I do need to remember done is better than perfect. Oh, I do need to remember to call my family. I'm worried about Keisha and Devontae and the whole time. Like, when the last time I called grandma? You know what I mean? Yeah. So sometimes you need to remember those things. So I would like to encourage you to remember those things. So yeah, come check me out on my podcast. And one thing I like to say at the end of my podcast is, whenever I'm working, I will remember that done is better than perfect. And if I'm satisfied with my work, then I'm living in my purpose. Halfway up.
Bars.
Mic drop.
Quote him. Sponsor us for ad-libs, you already know. But thank you for listening to the end of another episode. If you listen to the end, shout out to you. I appreciate you. Like, really? You really listen to all the way to the end? Like, oh my God. Like, all the way to the end? That's crazy.
That's crazy. Shout out to you.
Like, for real. Hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Bless you. Bless your soul. And don't forget to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, mother. Mm-hmm. That is mind over matter, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, right? It was good.
That was really good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. It's fire. Tongues. I should have brought out my Jamaican accent.
That was your best episode ever. I just want to let you know.
Oh, yeah.